Hey, sugar babies, let's get right into it. We're going to do some cleaning tips. You're not going to see me clean. I'm just going to tell you the tips. You come home, you smell something when you come in your house. You're like, oh my goodness, what in the world is that smell? So, some things you can take a look at to see if this could be a problem. You may know and you may not, but check it out. So first off, you want to take your trash. Check your trash. Make sure you don't have any food, open food and things of that nature in your trash. And yes, I'm going to open the trash because I want to show you something. In the trash, you have containers, you have the food that you used and you cook with, or, thrown away flour, stuff like that. Rinse out all your containers. And instead of just throwing the flour in the trash as is, maybe put it in another bag and then tie that bag up and then put it in the trash. And then also, ice cream containers. After you finish all the ice cream, you want to rinse those out. Let's see, what else? Meat containers, like right here. My trash is clean. I know what's in there. So, meat containers, you want to rinse those off because they have that pouch on there that has blood on it. Ice cream containers, you want to rinse those out. Any open food like bones and food that you scraped off the plate and different stuff like that or whatever, you want to put in a bag, tie it up, and then put it in the trash. So if you're not taking your trash out immediately right at that point, then that is something you can do. That's for the trash can. That can resolve that smell. And also, underneath the bottom of my trash bag, I pour like those little beads you put in your in the washer. I don't know, little washer beads. They smell good. I put those at the bottom of the trash can. Then I put the trash bag in, and then I can put the trash in. And then if we move along to the dishwasher, okay. Underneath this part holds water. Sometimes it holds water in there. And then it'll start stinking. So you want to make sure this whole area is dried out. And if yours is holding water, if you're a renter, you want to let the leasing office or the maintenance staff know. If you're a homeowner, I don't know what you can maybe do, but you can, definitely want to keep it dried out. Take a cloth and soak the water up and this, that, and the third, and maybe look into why it's retaining water. Also, when we wash our dishes and we put them in here, once you lean over this area here, water starts to sit right here. You want to dry this whole entire part off before shutting it, because all the water that's sat right here is going to run down in there and just sit there. So you can clean out the dishwasher because that can hold smells too. And then the sink. Let's go to the sink. In the sink, when you run water or we put food down here in the garbage disposal, right? And you can't really see down in there, but it's nothing in it. But my point is, when you put food down in here, right, underneath this black part, right underneath this, underneath the flap, if yours is flat, you want to take a rag, and you want to either take a rag, a sponge, a brush, or something, and you want to wash underneath of this black area here, because that holds a lot of food, a lot of grime, a lot of dirt, everything. So if you didn't know that, a lot of funk is held down in the sink also, so it starts smelling sour like old food, things of that nature or whatever. Then if you go over to, like, you know, your coffee machines or your whatever type of machines you have, you want to make sure you dump those containers out of there. Throw those away. Don't leave those in there that could possibly hold the smell. Like, here's one. I didn't use it. It's actually clean when I left it in here so I could show y'all. So you want to make sure these are not left in here. You want to throw those in the trash because that could be another smell. Sorry about that. Hey, it's not edited. That's what it is. Okay, I'm going to just throw those in the trash. Funny video. I don't know. But there it is. So, just check your coffee containers. Make sure no coffee pouches are left in the back. Things of that nature. They get mold. They start getting old. You forget it. And yeah, it's in there. Then moving over, excuse me, moving over to under the sink. I don't know what you all keep under your sink, but you can make sure, you know, you don't have any water leaks down in there, just, or sitting water down in the bottom of the cabinet or whatever. And then, like, I have some rags right here. If you keep rags and sponges or things of that nature or whatever under here, you want to make sure those things are not old, they don't have a smell to them or whatever. If they do, you want to wash it or even discard of it. Also, moving to the stove. Make sure you didn't leave anything in there. Sometimes it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, it's the holidays, it's whatever you cook. You want to wait for it to cool off before you put it up. You forget it's in here. You're not about to, you know, cook in the oven again for a couple of days or whatever. You done forgot the, I don't know, the Salisbury steak in the oven or something. I don't know. Excuse me. And all of a sudden, you don't know where the smell is coming from. Check your oven. Same for the microwave. Sometimes we put stuff in the microwave and, you know, and you don't remember you left it in there. Same for your air fryers and whatever other cooking items that you use, and you could put food in them. You want to make sure those items are out. This is fresh grease I just had today, but if you have old grease on your stove, you leave them in your pans, or you have a container for your grease, or however you keep your, you know, your grease that you use for that day, then you want to make sure that's not holding a smell or anything like that. Also, for the refrigerator, and yes, I'm going to my refrigerator for a minute. In the refrigerator, you have containers in there that have food in them. You want to check those because sometimes, you know, we could put food in the containers and then we leave them in there and we don't go back to it. And then that could be holding a smell as well. Also, in my other video, when I was doing my home tour, I recently touched this and accidentally found out that it slides over. That's a great feature. But anyway, we're not here on that. Just want to show you things that may cause a smell. Check your items. You know, let's say if this was sour, the milk, juice. You know, you want to check stuff. Cheese, anything dairy, or anything, you know, open meats or anything like that. You want to check that stuff, and you want to make sure that it doesn't have a smell to it. The freezer should be on, so you want to make sure that's still working. You can hear it freezing or making the noise that it's supposed to make when it's getting cold. All right, and you want to make sure that's working. So if your freezer is broke, you don't know, your food in there, your food going bad or whatever. Also, make sure you have a light bulb in your refrigerator. You know, keep a light on in your refrigerator. If you have food in your freezer, in your deep freezer. My deep freezer isn't plugged up right now, so that's why there's nothing in here. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you have food in here, you want to make sure this is still properly working or whatever, to make sure that, you know, it doesn't have a smell. Or if every now and again you want to, you can, clean this out, wash it out, wipe it down, dry it out, put your food back in there, and yeah, let that work out. While we talking, it smells like water in here, and that's why I was kind of almost holding my breath. It doesn't look bad, but it smells like sitting water. So I guess that'll be a project for me to do tomorrow. Just wipe this down. It doesn't stink, but it just smells like sitting water in there. So yeah, but anyway, that is all I wanted to tell you. And then check around, make sure you don't drop food and stuff on the floor. Make sure that stuff is up on the countertops. I left these rags out so they could dry. These is what I, probably would do the floor with, do the dishes with, do, whatever. I have my rags that I do different stuff with or whatever. These are kind of drying out so I could put them in dirty clothes or whatever. Didn't want to put them back in the laundry while they were wet. So that's why they're on the counter trying to dry out first. So these rags can hold stink, whatever. Whatever you done did with them, you want to wash them, or if they old, you want to discard them, So basically, those are some things that you can check out to make sure, to clarify or clear up any stink that you may have and not know where it's coming from. So hope these were helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.